I'm Martin Pace. I'm a father of 3 and a personal trainer. And this year I embarked on a journey to try and break the world record for the most number of chest to floor burpees completed in 24 hours, all in aid of raising £10,000 for the baby unit fund in Hull. So over the past 10 months, I've been going through a grueling training program consisting of over 75,000 burpees, strength training and conditioning training to make sure I'm fit enough and have the aerobic capacity to be able to attack this world record to my full potential. A lot of you watching this will probably think I'm mad for even trying to attempt this challenge, but for me it holds a special place in my heart because raising funds for Hull NICU and the baby unit fund is something very, very dear to me and my family, because we've got 2 twins, Charlie and Zach, who were born 8 weeks premature, and because of breathing, growth and feeding problems they had to spend the first 8 weeks of their life in Hull NICU, and without the care and support that Hull NICU gave our boys, they wouldn't be with us here today. On Friday the 8th of December at 6 p.m. we started the challenge, so I was here a few hours earlier prepping everything, making sure all the cameras set up, everything was ready for the Guinness World Record attempt for it to be official.
Aside from stressed, how are you feeling, Martin?
Physically feel really good, just very, very stressed.
At least, you know, once you start, you no longer have to think about any of these things. It's just go, go, go.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
For 24 hours straight.
And then once that clock hit 6 o'clock, the burpees began.
Good way.
So over the past few months, what me and my coaching team have been working on is setting a rep range and a structure up so that we'll be able to break the record in good enough time that we can allow for enough rest, enough breaks to get on board some food and actually have some time to rest and recover in between the 24-hour period. So this meant we started the challenge doing a repetition structure of 9 reps on the first minute and then 6 reps on the second minute, and then repeating this alternate minutes for 1 hour 45 minutes with a 15-minute break to get on board some food, some fluid, and then stretch off before I attack the next 2-hour block in the same fashion. Now the first 4 hours went really well. I was feeling confident, I felt strong, I had no issues physically, my heart rate was nice and low, and I was feeling really confident that actually this record is in sight. But then once we got to the 5th hour, things started to go downhill.
And then you should have some fruit, see how you feel. I don't want to overload you.
Then you should have fruit. One low, 1 really shit in the locker, 10 really high, you can do it.
10 really high, you can do it.
6. No, let's make it higher. What we said, the power of psychology. Yeah, that's not going to be the thing that pulls you through. That's going to be the thing, the thinking, the thought process. It's like grunting with a load of shit here. That's why your heart rate went up on 67 and then beyond. PMA. Think about it. You've got that fucking mindset. You know you have. You've done this twice. This is breakfast, mate.
So for the past few weeks, I'd started to feel a little bit unwell. I had a bit of a cough and a cold. Helen and the boys all had chest infections, so potentially my immune system was a little bit compromised. So I wasn't feeling 100% before I started the challenge. But I didn't want to delay the challenge and move it to another day because there's too many moving parts and too many people involved. So I stuck at it, ignored the fact I wasn't feeling well, and just gave it my best shot. But by hour 5, I was starting to feel the after effects of feeling a little bit unwell for these previous 2 weeks. And the idea for the day itself was that I was going to go home and have a sleep before I started the challenge. So Friday lunchtime, go and get 2 or 3 hours of sleep so that when it got to 6 o'clock, I was refreshed and ready to go. But I was so excited, I had so much nervous energy that I just simply couldn't sleep, which meant when I came here in the afternoon, I was already fatigued from being up from 6 o'clock in the morning with the boys. So I spoke to Adam, my nutritionist, and we agreed that we'd have a bit of Pro Plus. Now this is something we hadn't trialed before in any of the previous test events, so it was a bit of an unknown situation, but it was one of those options to weigh up. Do I feel tired before the event and have no Pro Plus, so have a confidence that I know how I feel, or take the Pro Plus to give me some energy, but not know how my body's going to respond? And then sadly, once we got to hour 5, that was where I started to experience some of the side effects. So my heart rate was starting to rise faster and faster. My core temperature was increasing through the roof. I just simply couldn't cool down. We had the door open, the aircon unit on. I even had towels that were being sitting in blocks of ice for 20 minutes and they were still not cooling me down. So that meant that every time I stood up for a burpee, I was losing my eyesight, everything was going blurry, I was feeling dizzy, I was feeling nauseous. So we decided to take a break.
How long have you guys been on?
Just coming up for 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours.
Flag it, man.
Carl, you've been doing some hard work there, mate, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Been practicing. I've been doing 24-hour counting sessions at home, just to make sure I can count through the night.
I got an F in maths.
Practicing with him again.
I got an F in maths, it's not my forte.
But because of the dizziness and the nauseousness, I couldn't take on any food. I simply felt sick the thought of eating. So we couldn't get enough energy in, I felt tired, and I was already feeling sick and dizzy. So what we decided to do was drop the repetition range down, so we did 5 reps every minute and just stuck at that structure for an hour, just to try to recuperate, kind of get a bit of energy back into the body, hopefully pass through the difficult stages so that can pick up the pace again and keep going towards the world record. But again, sadly, this wasn't to happen.
Something's just not right, and that might just be a number of different things, but if we can do 24 hours, that's what the biggest accomplishment is. So that's that second goal, yeah. And that every conversation we ever had, the second goal was always.
There was no way I was able to continue at the world record pace without any serious consequences to my health. So together, me, Dean and Adam, we decided to move the goalposts. We were no longer going for the world record, although that was a big aim for me. The most important goal for me from the day one was to make sure we complete 24 hours, because at the end of the day, that's what people were sponsoring for, and that's what I was doing to raise money for Hull NICU. So we decided to drop the repetitions down to 3 per minute, and we just stuck at that nice steady speed for the remaining 18 hours.
What have I missed thus far?
So, you've missed a lot of burpees, that's what you've missed. So the strategy now, the world record attempt is obviously not on the cards, and unfortunately, external factors that are out of our control have deemed it so that that is the case. And they're not excuses by any stretch of the imagination, but they are things that we have to be considerate of. His health is a massive important factor in it, so we can't keep pushing a pace of 9 and 6 every alternate minute. And because of that, what we were pushing, he was on track to smash the world record. But like anything else, external factors, the body having a chest infection, having a cold, the flu, Helen being ill, the kids being ill, him being in a position where he's not been in the best state, has left us at this stage now where we're hitting that subsidiary, that secondary goal, which is showing up for 24 hours and proving to himself and proving to everybody that's there supporting him, particularly the family behind him, that he's got this for 24 hours, which he absolutely has, and he knows he has. It's just a case of setting his pace. So if we can get it right, we step into this next 12 hours and hit 3 burpees every minute on the minute, at least we do it and move forward towards that second goal. So that's the focus point that we're at now.
This certainly didn't make the challenge any easier, because obviously 18 hours of doing 3 repetitions every single minute on the minute is a very tough ask. But it meant that my body wasn't overheating. I had time to rest in between the 3 repetitions, and I was able to control my heart rate to the point where I was able to continue for the full 24 hours. Probably the hardest part of the entire 24 hours was the frustration, because in the build up to the day, what me, Dean and Adam had been doing is doing test events. So we did a 2-hour test event, a 4 hours, 8 hours, and a 12-hour test event. And in the 12-hour test event, everything went absolutely perfectly. I had no side effects, no physical ramifications of what we were doing. And I knew I could have done better on another day if those side effects hadn't have happened. I had to really dig deep mentally to focus on the reasons why I was doing this, to remind myself of the reasons behind this challenge, to raise money for Hull NICU. And something that really helped me with this was that one of my friends and supporters came back later in the evening with photos of Helen and the boys as a family to have in front of me. So every time I stood up, they were there physically in front of me to look on and remind me of why I'm putting my body through this, why I'm going through this, why I'm putting myself through this ordeal. And to be honest, once I managed to control my heart rate, once I managed to get into a rhythm again, the last few hours, although painful, extremely painful, were really enjoyable. The support of people being here kept me going, and It was actually something I can look back on fondly, and the experience I went through for those past few hours was less torture and actually something that I've really enjoyed.
3, 2, 1, set.
Go, Daddy, go! Go again. Keep going, keep going. Go, Daddy, go! Go, Daddy, go! Go, Daddy, go!
He's going again.
Go, come on, let's go.
Martin.
Let's go.
Down for 5. Down for 6. Down for 7.
Come on.
Still great as well.
Down for 8.
Solid.
Loads of time.
Down for 9.
20 seconds left.
Come on, mate, big dude.
Down for 10. Down for 11.
10 seconds.
Down for 12.
Come on, Martin, let's go.
Down
Come on,
for
Martin.
14.
Go, Daddy, go!
One more, come on.
Come on, Martin.
And then once it got to 6 p.m, I'd done 4,836 burpees. Now, again, frustration because I did almost that amount of burpees in my 12-hour test event with no side effects, but extremely proud. Now, although it was me doing the burpees, I couldn't have done any of this if it wasn't for the support team that I had behind me. First and foremost, my wife, Helen. The support and motivation she's given me over these past 10 months, the amount of talking she must have put up with about burpees, I don't know how she did it. Looking after the boys whilst I was away training, I will be forever thankful for everything she's done, not only in this challenge, but everything she does every single day for our family. And then Dean, my coach.
Hey, you fucking well. I want to give you something.
It's a small little thing. But I'm not giving these to anybody unless they've earned the right for everything that they've done, because their journey means more than just something that's superficial. And this is the first coin I'm giving out from the Catalyst project. It's got your name on the back of it. And I just want to say, past fucking 10 months has been an unbelievable journey, bro.
Thank you very much.
Proud of you, guys. Fucking proud of you, mate.
Proud of you.
Incredible, mate. Incredible.
What started out as a coach and client relationship has certainly expanded into a friendship that will last forever. The experiences we've been through over these 10 months are something I'll never forget. And again with Adam, the nutritional education he's given me from this journey, the way he's helped guide me through the test events and the day itself, I certainly couldn't have come anywhere near what I would have done if it wasn't for his help and his guidance. Away from the coaching side of things, my friends and my family, again, like Helen, they've had to put up with 10 months of non-stop burpee chatter, of constantly hearing about how I'm training, how my body aches, what I'm planning to do next. And without their support, without their motivation, without their friendship and their love and support, I would not have been able to complete this challenge. And lastly, and most importantly, to every single one of you who's donated. I set out on this journey to raise as much money as I could for the Baby Unit Fund and help support Hull NICU as much as I could and give something back to them for what they did for me and my family. And thankfully, from your kindness, from your generosity, I've been able to raise an amazing and incredible amount of money for such an incredible charity. And I will be forever thankful for every single one of you who has donated.